You're listening to the Ballroom Network. The following program is intended for all audiences. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Goon podcast with your hosts, Joe Mandel, the Goon, and the man with the plan, Adam Schaum. We're bringing you the fantasy football knowledge that you need every single week.
Derrick Henry still going. Stays in bounds. He might go. 99 yards for the touchdown. Unbelievable.
Flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught. Touchdown. Only Mahomes turns what might have been a 15-yard sack into a 27-yard touchdown.
Saquon Barkley across midfield, down the sideline, staying in bounds, and Barkley takes it all the way. 68 yards for his first NFL touchdown. McCaffrey right up the middle, and he is gone for the touchdown. 58 yards. And this is to Thomas. He's gone. Touchdown Saints.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cut. Now, while I wasn't able to cut everyone I wanted to, I have cut a lot of you. Steven, I like your hustle. That's why it was so hard to cut you. Congratulations, the rest of you made the team. Except you, and you.
God bless fantasy football. There are many things a man can do with his time. And this is better than those things.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Fantasy Football Goon. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Mandel, and I'm joined with my co-host, Adam Schaum, the man with the plan, and John Santucci, the Tooch. How you guys doing this morning? Happy Football Sunday.
Doing great. Looking forward to some fantasy talk now.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Glad to be back this week.
For sure, and I think we kind of lost Adam's image for a second.
Yeah.
Adam, I think if you want to join in, hop in and hop back out, I think that might fix our little issue. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, we had a little echo there too.
Yeah, I was getting that too. That happened a couple weeks ago, but I think we should be good. But anyway, we're happy to be back on the air. Last week we were just it was one of those things where we just couldn't get the show in, so we apologize for everybody. But we are back on the air today to help you get going. And Adam is back with us now as well, and we are good to go. Adam, how are you this Fantasy Sunday?
I'm good, man. Glad to be back this week.
All right. We are back, and we got a full show for you guys today. There's a lot going on in fantasy world, including some bye weeks, guys. It's week 8, and two of the biggest fantasy names, the Chiefs and the Chargers, are on bye. So folks have to kind of pivot a little bit, especially if you have guys like Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, although you've been without him for a good chunk of the year already. Mike Williams, I know you are, Adam. What are you guys doing to help get through the bye week blues? I know it's only 2 teams, but it's 2 pretty big fantasy relevant teams. No Travis Kelce this week. So a lot of tight end flyers out there. Adam, I know we talk every single week about tight ends you can fill in for, but I don't know if there's anyone you could replace Travis Kelce with, but is there anyone on waivers that you like that people can go and grab and feel pretty good about today?
One guy that I feel pretty good about today that is available on probably half of waivers, I would guess, because he's been off and on, would be Robert Tonyan for the Packers. I like him today based on Allen Lazard being out for them. I think there's going to be quite a few targets coming his way, and he's been pretty solid the last couple of weeks. So he's a guy I'm using on 1 or 2 places this week as fill-in, and I think he's pretty available actually.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Tanyan, he's one of those guys that does well when Rodgers is missing other guys, so I like that. Tooch, you got any tight end fill-ins this week?
That's a great question because Kelce is one of the true players in fantasy that is irreplaceable, or you could at least label as irreplaceable. He's head and shoulders above every other tight end, but I picked up Greg Dulcich on the Broncos. Don't know what he did today because I haven't been paying attention to the London game. But, he's getting a large percentage of snaps, like about 77%, and running a lot of routes on those snaps. That would be an okay pickup. Juwan Johnson on New Orleans is good in the red zone. And the Raiders are not very good versus the tight end. So a couple options there. Maybe Irv Smith on the Vikings to get in with a touchdown.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson was my guy for today. I really think he's going to have a good game. And I think he's, like you said, he's been a good red zone target.
Yeah, especially with Michael Thomas out.
Yeah, and Andy Dalton's a sleeper pick today. You might hear me talk about him again later.
I like that, Joe. Yep.
But
good
guys, that's what we can do on the bye weeks and just see what we can do quarterback-wise. Quarterback plays across the league has been very, very good, I would say. It's one of those things that we talk about every single year is like the early draft of the quarterback. It's becoming less and less necessary. And I think we prove that every single week. And for people that went early and they were high on guys like Russell Wilson, like me, it kind of bit me in the butt in a couple teams. So I'm just kind of like figuring things out with Jimmy G and Jared Goff right now. So definitely those guys are all doing better than Russell Wilson, by the way, which is really sad to say. But we got a question here about Raheem Mostert. Is he a RB2? For me, he is. I really like him today. And he's looking like he's the guy every single week. Adam, I know Mostert's a guy that we've been talking about a lot as, if he gets the opportunity consistently, he's going to be good. What do you feel about Mostert right now?
Yeah, Mostert's a must start right now, I think, and especially for today against Detroit. That's one of those games that could end up in a lot of points. We know we've seen this for like 3 seasons now. And when Mostert's healthy, he's one of the top running backs in the league. He's one of the fastest running backs in the league. And once he hits those holes, man, he's gone. And he's going to have a big game today versus Detroit. And as long as he's healthy, I'm starting him every week.
I would agree, and I know Tooch probably feels the same, right?
Yeah, I love his matchup against the Lions. They're 31st in the NFL against the run. He's at least a running back too for me. So
I would agree. He's with a high ceiling for sure. And then Connor wants to know Mostert, Montgomery, Dobbs, or McLaurin for flex. Pick one. If I had to pick one out of those, I think I'm going Mostert as well.
Me too.
Yeah, that's Mostert for sure.
Yep. Montgomery I love as a player. It's just that he splits time with Khalil Herbert pretty equally.
And Dallas has got a good pass rush, like we said. So
yep. And Romeo Dobbs is going up against the Bills' #1 defense. Terry McLaurin would be my second choice after Mostert.
I agree. McLaurin would definitely be my second as well. Things look a little bit better for McLaurin, I think, with Heineke playing right now.
Oh, for sure, because Wentz couldn't get anything going. But great questions, guys. Keep them coming in the chat. But we're going to dive into our starts and sits for this week, and let's dive into our quarterbacks. Adam, I'll let you lead things off with your quarterback starts of the week.
All right. One of the games we just mentioned there with Raheem Mostert, I love Tua today versus Detroit. Tua's been extremely efficient when he's played this year, despite he missed 2 games, I think, with the concussion. Well, technically 2 if you count the one he went out. But Tua's been really good and efficient. We know that he's got the weapons. He's just loaded with Waddle and Hill. Hill's had like 450-yard games already. So Tua stacks up the yardage quickly, and we know they're going to get touchdowns versus Detroit today, so I love him. On the other side of that same game, this could be one of those shootouts. So I like Jared Goff coming right back at him, maybe in catch-up mode. A bunch of throwing going for Detroit. They got DeAndre Swift back today as well. So should be. They've had a couple of down weeks, but they should get back in line, I think, today versus Miami. And my guy I like almost every week, Kirk Cousins versus Arizona. Arizona, terrible pass defense, really bad against the tight end. That's where I really like I'm going to mention another guy. Tooch mentioned a minute ago, Irv Smith later, because I think he's almost a guaranteed touchdown versus Arizona today. And Cousins should handle Arizona easily.
I would fully agree with that. Those are some good picks there, Adam. And before we get to yours, Tooch, we got a question here in the chat.
All right.
Looking for good streaming options at QB today. Dalton, Mariota, Stafford, Jimmy G, someone else. Out of all those guys, it's really weird, but I like Andy Dalton today. I like that matchup. I might be a little crazy. And I know Dalton's not one of those guys a lot of people can trust, but I love the matchup. I don't love what I've seen out of Stafford. Jimmy G's got a tough matchup, and Mariota for me is not startable in fantasy with his turnovers. He's been okay this year, but I can't do it with good faith. So for me, it's Dalton. Tooch, who you got here? Or anyone else?
Man, I kind of like Mariota today, but I mean, he kind of like, he gets it done with his legs, so you get the added bonus of rushing yards. But I mean, that game might be fairly low scoring. I actually
That's what scares me. Yeah,
I actually like Dalton. It's going to be a higher scoring game, so I think Dalton would probably be my choice. Although Stafford gets back Van Jefferson today, which is good. That's the deep threat he kind of needs,
Yeah.
So Stafford might be a sneaky pick. Jimmy G, I don't like. I mean, I don't think Deebo Samuel's banged up. He's got a hamstring, so I don't really like Jimmy G today. But
I would agree.
Yeah, Adam, what about you, man?
I would agree with Andy Dalton as my pick as well. He's somebody I like quite a bit today. I think they might be playing catch-up mode there again versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
We saw him throw he getting nearly 400 yards last week. He threw 3 or 4 interceptions, and, it looks pretty bad, but for fantasy-wise, we don't really care how it looks, so he gets the points. And
how we get there.
Right. I am interested in Mariota as well, as Tooch said, because I think he's going to get you a safe floor there with his legs in that game. We know Carolina's defense is not very well, so those are my guys right there. Stafford, I really hope the Rams can maybe make a little turn here after that bye week and things can turn up. Stafford can be usable down the stretch.
Yeah, no, I hope so. But Tooch, let's get to your QB starts of the week. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you got?
You also have Kirk Cousins against that bad Arizona secondary. Of course, you're always in good shape when you're throwing to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. And then let's see, who else do I have? I got Davis Mills versus Tennessee. Tennessee is one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, and they have a pretty good run defense. So I think Mills might be forced to throw it if you're looking for, you're desperate. Kind of get there with Mills. And then Marcus Mariota versus Carolina. I don't know, maybe sneaks one in. I also like Dalton too.
Yeah, those are all good picks, boys, and we all kind of have similar picks. The only guy I have that you guys don't is I like Dak today against the Bears. I really think they're gonna chuck it all over the place. This Bears team's banged up on defense. Everyone's high on them after they beat New England, but let's be honest, New England's not even that good. They're banged up too. So I think Dallas just smokes them. Dak has a big comeback game. And then I could say the same thing, Tua and Kirk, like you guys talked about, all big days there across the board. We got some more comments and questions here. Travis, our buddy Travis, wants to know, he's got to pick up a running back to replace Zeke. Well, Travis, I don't know who's on your wire. If you could let us know in the chat. But I am getting wind. I've heard a little bit, and you guys may have seen me pick up in both of our fantasy leagues, Ronnie Rivers for the Los Angeles Rams. He might be getting the start today for them, and he's available in a lot of leagues.
What happened to Henderson? I didn't know Henderson was injured.
Henderson's playing. He was sick earlier in the week, but he's starting.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but Ronnie Rivers, is a guy that I'm not starting him, but I'm picking him up for the upside because he's been doing really well for them and could be a guy to keep on your bench. But I know Henderson was under the weather, and Rivers is supposed to get some play today, so he might be the new Cam Akers. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's on your waiver wire, Travis. Let us know. But I don't know. Sam J. Pirine could be a decent pickup if he's available.
Yeah.
I don't love starting him unless you have to, but I'm curious who else you got available. But we'll answer that again once you let us know in the chat who who's on your wire. But Cesar wants to know St. Brown or Tyler Boyd. That's tough because Boyd is now like arguably the 2/high-end 1 on that squad now. I'd say he's probably the 2, but he had a huge game last week, and I think you're going to see more of that. But I think it's hard to bench Brown. I love Brown. He's just electric. Where do you guys fall?
Yeah, you have to start St. Brown, in my opinion. There's just no way you can bench him.
Yeah, I mean,
I like St.
ideally,
Brown too. It's just that
ideally
he's
you play
up.
both.
Yeah, one little tweak, to his injury, and he's out of the game. That's why give me Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, you've seen that. You've seen that already this season. It's nicked me in the butt a couple times.
I love St. Brown too.
Hey,
I love both.
Shout out to Travis Etienne, man. He's up to 24 carries, 157 yards, and a touchdown, and just put him ahead.
So I had him. He was in my running backs starts, but I mean, since the game already started before the show, I put 3 others, but I also had him in there. But
yeah,
really
he
liked the matchup.
Number 1, but yeah, I tried not to pick that one.
Yep.
Well, that's a good. I mean, people are calling him a league winner.
Yeah, I tried not to pick guys but I liked a lot of guys in this matchup. I like Greg Dulcich, I like Jerry Jeudy in this one too. But the game it's almost over. So
yeah, I mean, the Jaguars getting rid of James Robinson, of course, going to the Jets.
Yeah,
it opens things up, and ETN could be a league winner now. Adeptus wants to know, is Pitts ever going to go off, or he's a very frustrating pick? I mean, I'd go as far as say as Kyle Pitts is a drop at this point. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
I think you got to start him. Maybe give him one more shot, but
if you're not dropping him, I think he's on your bench right now, and you have to find somebody else and just try to wait it out if you're willing.
I definitely would stash him. There's no. You paid a high price for him. You're not going to trade him. You got to stash him. I wouldn't just outright drop him. I mean, they may put it together by the end of the season. Yeah, what if he comes alive during playoffs? Your fantasy playoffs.
And it's not like they have. It's not like there's any other tight ends out there that are amazing on waivers.
Exactly.
So, hold on to him. But
yeah, I got him on guillotine the other day for next to nothing.
Which the bye week got me.
Yeah. I've got him and Schultz.
That's the hardest part about guillotine is navigating the bye week.
I've got him and Schultz. I'm trying to decide Pitts or Schultz on that one today.
I mean, target wise, you have to go Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Schultz
tough,
is also injured, but
that's
Schultz
my
is a player, man.
Yeah. But he played through it last week, so
yeah, he's a player.
He certainly is, and I'm updating my running back starts because I accidentally put in last week's. So anyway, my running back starts of the week here, guys.
Yeah,
I like Tony Pollard today against the Bears. I said it earlier in the barroom chat. I said I think he's going to be RB1 this week in fantasy. Well, I mean, ETN will probably end up taking that, but I still think he's going to do really well. Dude's just going to do it all. He's going to catch. He's going to run. Just destroy the Bears.
They are against the run. They're near the bottom of the NFL, giving up 150 yards rushing per game.
Yeah, exactly. So love Pollard. As Adam knows, Ramondre Stevenson, I feel like he's on my list every week, but I love him today against the Jets. I don't care that Damian Harris is back. He's proven to me that he's the number 1 back in New England.
I agree.
He's going to run all over the Jets. And I really like Miles Sanders today against Pittsburgh. I think he's going to leave a trail of dust, and I think another team they're going to smoke. The Eagles are really good. Robert Quinn now on that pass rush. You got to watch out for the Eagles. They're really good. All right, Adam, what do you got?
Well, I love Tony Pollard as well. I think everybody does this week, as you said. Just a given. He's going to get the workload. The Bears are bad against the run. Another one I like is Kenneth Walker versus Seattle. Man, we've seen him really explode the last couple of weeks. The rookie running back, he had a 60 or 70 yarder last week, just not even touched, just gone, and nobody was close to catching him. He's explosive. He's also pretty good out of the backfield catching the ball as well. So I think they're going to need him today and rely on him a lot. And what's probably going to be a good game, but I think the Giants are going to come out ahead. And if you look at that Giants schedule, they could actually get to 8, 9-1 before they lose again. I think quite possibly. The other one was Deontay Foreman for Atlanta. We've heard Chuba Hubbard's going to be out today. So Deontay Foreman should be the guy for Carolina. He had a big game both of them had good games last week. And now with Chuba out of the way, you can only expect Foreman to get a little bit more. So versus bad Atlanta defense again, I think Foreman's one of those guys almost guaranteed to get a touchdown today.
Love that there.
William, Michigan State could have used Walker yesterday. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But, I got Devin Singletary versus the Packers. Packers, they're just as bad as the Bears against the run. I also have Ramondre Stevenson. Just the amount of touches that guy gets, And like I said, Belichick, a double-digit home loss last week, Monday night, in front of everybody. Belichick coming off a double-digit home loss is like 9-0 against the spread. So,
wow.
I mean, I kind of like the Patriots of this. I know everyone's all over the Jets and stuff. And I'll tell you, though, I'm not a Zach Wilson fan. Don't think he's that good yet. Maybe he'll be good next year. And I like the Patriots kind of in this game. So give me Stevenson. And I got Mostert, and I had Travis Etienne, but that game is almost over. So it looks like it's going to stay under the total, too. So
all
chalk
awesome
one up.
Picks. And while we're chugging along, Tooch, why don't you dive into your wide receiver starts of the week? Yeah,
Gabriel Davis versus Green Bay with all, Jerry Alexander will probably be on Stephon Diggs, which will leave Gabriel Davis. And Davis has posted good numbers the past few weeks. Y'all know it. Love him. Nico Collins versus Tennessee. Tennessee, not very good against the pass. And Collins, Brandon Cooks has been banged up. Collins gets a lot of targets. Like that play. And then I had Jerry Jeudy also. I don't know what he did today, but I liked his matchup against.
He had a touchdown.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I had him on mine. I was like, damn it, this game's already over. Why am I picking Jaguars and Broncos players? But Drake London versus Carolina. The dude's just a big body that, Mariota could throw to.
Oh,
he hasn't been great. They don't pass the ball a lot, but I like his chances maybe sneaking in for a touchdown against the Panthers.
Love it. Adam, what do you got, buddy?
I like all those picks you got there, Tooch. I like Brandon Ayuk today.
I do
he had
too.
A big game last week. Today with Debo out.
Yep.
Them slowly mixing McCaffrey in. I think Garoppolo really likes Ayuk, so I think he has a big game. He's also had big games versus the Rams in the past, I believe. So I think he has a really nice game today. Sees probably close to 10 targets, I bet. The other one I like is Devontae Smith versus Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Love these picks. Yep.
Pittsburgh is terrible against wide receivers in general, and especially against the wide receiver 2. They're really bad. And we know A.J. Brown's the wide receiver 1 this year now for Philly. So Devontae Smith could eat today, I think. Even if he doesn't get in the end zone in a PPR league, I think he's going to be a monster. I also feel the same way about a guy that we've all been down on. Everyone has Jay Moore, but man, last week you saw CMC out of the picture and everything changed for DJ Moore last week. It might be a combination of that, the targets being available, kind of the squeaky wheel gets the grease type of thing.
Yeah.
And let's face it, it was like, oh, look, they're going to trade DJ Moore. Well, I'm sure you guys have heard the same thing this week, that the Panthers and the Falcons are playing for first place today. Why are they going to trade him away now? They've already got rid of CMC. They might as well feed him and try to win.
Right.
So I think there's a good chance he catches 7-8 balls today and possibly another touchdown.
Dude, I love
great
it.
Great picks. Love Ayuk and Smith today. Just
patience might be rewarded for DJ Moore owners.
Love the Eagles today to win. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not like just win outright, but the number 1 team in the NFL in the first half is the Philadelphia Eagles. They've outscored teams in the second quarter about 83-3.
They're good,
man. A little bit of perspective. If you're thinking about laying down some coin on a bet, take the Eagles first half -6.
Yeah, they were already my favorite defense, and with the addition of Quinn, man, they're just that much better.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
they didn't give up anything. A 4th rounder, it's nothing.
Getting going up against Kenny Pickett too. The guy who's thrown 7 interceptions already.
Slay and those guys could just feast on Pickett.
Yep.
It's going to be a long day for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys both talked about Gabe Davis and Devontae Smith. Obviously, those guys are going to do awesome today.
Yep.
I put Tyler Boyd on this list because Cleveland is one of the worst in the league. Their secondary is just abysmal. The defense in general is abysmal, let's be honest. Yep. And Tyler Boyd coming off of a huge game. T. Higgins is going to be the one in this game. He's going to be the number 2. I just think Tyler Boyd's going to eat big time today.
Great.
This is the guy I got off of waivers in 3 leagues last week, and now he could be a league winner if Jamar Chase is out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
So, if for some reason Tyler Boyd is still available, get him because this guy is going to eat, and I'm a huge fan of Tyler Boyd. He's been Mr. Consistent across the league the last 3-4 years. Now I think he's going to be Mr. Fantasy for a hot minute. So ride that train while it's hot.
Totally agree.
Let's get to the tight end starts. I'll lead things off here. I went outside the box a little bit this week with my picks. I like Irv Smith against Arizona. They can't really defend anybody, let alone the tight end. I like Irv Smith to at least get a touchdown, probably only 3 or 4 catches, but he'll probably have a TD and 40 yards, which for a tight end, that's really all you could ask. Pat Freiermuth, I think, is probably my number 1 tight end play of the week against Philadelphia. And I'll tell you why. Their defense is really good, but he's going to get a lot of chuck downs. Pat Freiermuth might catch, I'm not trying to exaggerate here, he might catch 10 passes today. They might only be for 50 yards, but I mean, right there, you're looking at 15 points at least. So might even be a red zone touchdown. I like Pat Freiermuth. And Juwan Johnson against Las Vegas, they can't defend against the tight end. And Andy Dalton likes his tight end, as we always know. So those are my obscure tight end picks of the week, but I think all those guys are worth a start in fantasy this week. Adam, how about you, buddy?
All right, so I've got Robert Tonyan. I don't think these are my current ones. These look like.
Yeah,
right?
Hang on. Let me update. I'll let you talk about your first tight end pick, which is Irv Smith.
I think I had Irv Smith. I know because I love that one versus Arizona. We talked about how bad their defense is versus the tight end. I think it was last week, and your guy Juwan Johnson, you pick, had 2 touchdowns versus Arizona. I think Arizona's given up a touchdown to the tight end every game this season. So I think, like I said earlier, I think Irv Smith's almost guaranteed today. Another one to Robert Tonyan I mentioned earlier versus Buffalo. Without Allen Lazard, Tonyan has seen a big uptick in targets in all the games where one of those wide receivers have missed. So I expect him to see probably 8 to 10 targets today, and hopefully he gets one of those late, easy touchdowns for you when they're playing catch-up mode. And Greg Dulcich, I threw in there earlier, forgetting that was the morning game, but I'm not sure how that ended up. I know Tooch had mentioned him a couple times. I did see him catch what looked like probably about a 30-yard pass and get tackled at the 1-yard line, which I think set up a Melvin Gordon walk-in. But that Dulcich looks really good the last couple of weeks, and if he's on waiver wires, he's definitely a guy to add, I think, especially if you're a Kyle Pitts owner or something.
Yeah, so I got the box. He leads Denver in receiving today, 4 catches for 87 yards.
Yeah.
I had him too. I started him today somewhere in one of my leagues. I don't remember which one, maybe 2 of them.
Jerry Jeudy also. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy also with a nice game. 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
Damn, nice.
What's happened to Sutton?
It's worth noting Sutton only has 4 targets in this game.
Yeah, 1 catch.
So something's going on there. Something's in the water.
That's criminal.
Yeah, he's the best receiver.
I know.
And Tooch has got 2 of those same guys, but he also has TJ Hawkinson on there.
Yeah, I like Hawk today. You know, Jared Goff's got to throw to somebody. If Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down, I like Hawk. He's tough, man.
Yeah, I like that pick too.
I think
Miami's not very good against the tight end.
Another one I mentioned was Irv Smith. So,
all good picks. And we got a question about tight ends here in the chat. Marcos wants to know Schultz, Irv Smith, or Harrison Bryant. Thank you. Harrison Bryant's a really intriguing name here. I've really liked what I've seen out of him, and I like the matchup today. But I think it's really hard not to play Schultz against the Bears. I think he's a guaranteed touchdown scorer today. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they're pretty much right in the order. He's got them listed there.
Yeah.
I do like Harrison Bryant. He's actually one of my sleepers here. We'll talk about in a minute because I think he's one of those great guys you can use as a Travis Kelce fill-in today or something if you're on the bye.
Yep.
But, yeah, I think you got to play Schultz just from the – Schultz has only had two full games with Dak, and they were both very productive.
Yeah, Schultz is going to have a good day today. I actually have one league where I think I got to get him active. I think he's on my bench, so I got to put him in a flex spot. Cesar wants to know Stafford or Daniel Jones. For me, it's Daniel Jones by a country mile. What do you guys think?
Yeah, probably not by as much for me, but yeah, I would play Daniel Jones for the rushing ability. He's going to give you it's a lot safer than what you're going to get. Stafford's going to give you nothing in that category, obviously.
Yeah, I'm with you on Jones. Just the running ability and the goal line potential for a touchdown with Jones.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we look back at ourselves after week one before week one, and we said we were telling people to start Daniel Jones over Matthew Stafford?
Yeah. I mean, the 49ers defense is no joke. That's what
no, they're not.
Daniel Jones is going up against a Seahawks defense. Granted, they're at home. Seahawks are tough at home defensively, and the crowd noise is really loud. Everyone knows the 12th man. So, but this could be a get-right game for Stafford, so this is a big rivalry. And then, like I said, Stafford gets Van Jefferson back who can really stretch the field. They just haven't had that with anybody who can stretch the field. Brandon Cooks is rumored to go to the Rams now.
Yeah, and worth noting too, guys, that I totally lost my train of thought. What were we talking about before that?
Daniel Jones and the Seahawks and Giants, and Stafford and the Niners.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I was going to say, worth noting, Van Jefferson's available in a lot of leagues.
Right, there you go.
He's a guy you can go and pick up too. That's where I was going to go with that.
I picked him up somewhere. I don't know where, but just.
And Adam Steven in the chat wants to know thoughts on his flex spot, full PPR, Pickens versus Wandy Robinson.
Wandale. Yeah, for me, it's Wandale.
Yeah, full PPR, I'd go Wandale, but I do like Pickens as well. Even in this game where they're going to get killed, he's going to chuck it downfield to Pickens.
Negative game script, yep. But, Wandale Robinson's going up, has got a good matchup against the Seahawks.
Yeah, he's basically going to be their number one receiver.
Points per route run, I don't think there's many wide receivers better than Robinson. He had, before the season, and earlier this season, he hadn't been getting a lot of routes run. One, he was injured. Two, he was kind of in the doghouse. Now he's running, 20 routes and putting up 10 points. That's pretty high, points per route run. So it's just a matter of time before you're saying he's a must start every week. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, for sure. And Flex Lord Chino wants to know, would you go Ramondre, Sanders, and Pittman or Boyd going up against the most stacked team? The lineup has to be perfect. I'm taking Boyd over Pittman this week. I know it sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah, I would too.
I just like that matchup. Adam, am I nuts?
No, you're not nuts. But for me, it's Ramondre and Pittman.
With Jamar Chase out.
He says here he's got to have the most stacked team in the lineup because he's going against – so he needs
he
needs the most explosive plays. So to me, I get what you're saying with Boyd, but I think the Cincinnati could get way ahead in this game, and it could be a big mixing game late, running the clock out, I think. So I think I'm interested to see what Ellinger does with Pittman today. I would play Ramondre and Pittman out of the two, but it's very close between Pittman and Boyd for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Ramondre over Sanders just because I love what I've seen out of the guy. Pittman and Boyd, for me, it's that close. Boyd's got the better quarterback, obviously, but Pittman is very explosive. That's a tough call. For me, it's Boyd by a hair. Tooch, who are you going with between the two? You going Boyd?
Well, I mean, I don't know Sam Ellinger yet. He could be awesome or he could just be terrible. For me, it's a wait one game to see Ellinger. I know Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can throw up 300 yards, easy. And Boyd is a PPR target machine. So, I mean, I lean Boyd in this one. I know I hate to, go. And what is this against the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
Colts.
Yeah.
So the
Here's what
Commanders
else-
have a freaking good pass rush, man.
Here's what I'll tell you
say
about
that,
Ellinger. Being here in Oklahoma, I watched Ellinger play
Oh,
for
yeah.
Texas for 4 years.
Yep.
So Ellinger he's going to provide them a whole different thing that they haven't had with Matt Ryan right now. He's going to be able to escape from the pocket. He's not going to, be blazing fast, but he can get some yardage, kind of Daniel Jones type.
Yeah, he's gritty.
But, yeah, he doesn't have a huge arm or anything, but I think he could escape the pocket and hit Pittman on a bunch of little 7-8 yard crossing routes, and Pittman could break one of them. I just think Pittman could have a big PPR game today.
Yeah, it's to me. I'm going with what I know in this one. The Commanders' defense is no joke. They're one of the top defenses in the NFL. The defensive line is freaking stacked.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a great question. It's going to be close.
But it was the question: one running back or the other, and one wide receiver or the other, or just two of all those
it was
four.
One of each. Yeah, one of each.
Yeah, it was Ramondre or Sanders, and then Pittman or Boyd.
The running back question is tough too. I mean, I think I'm tempted to go Sanders in this one, but
they're going to throw a lot in that game, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's flip a coin. Ramondre is pretty freaking good, but Sanders has had a good season as well. And the Steelers are worse against the run than the Jets, but I don't know. I mean, Belichick is out to punish his next team too.
Yeah,
after Monday night,
Yep, I totally agree with that.
All right, so we got through tight ends. Now we're getting to defensive starts. Tooch will let you start things off there.
Yeah, like I said, Belichick's going to be out to punish his next victim. So give me the Patriots if you're looking for one. I like the Commanders' defense today. Man, they're no joke. I like Ellinger's potential. I mean, it's his first start. I mean, things could be a little shaky. But then I have Broncos versus Jacksonville because I knew that was going to be a low-scoring game. I don't know. What was the final score of that game? Do we have
I have it here.
21-17. So I did like the Broncos. I didn't like the negatives. I mean, a lot of times, these London games have been, sketch, Joe. With the last week with the Saints and Vikings, whatever. And now, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to slant the game towards the Jaguars.
It's a little, with the travel, it's hard to guess what's going to happen in those games.
Yeah. I initially had the Broncos on my card. I went with the under for this game, and that turned out under 40.5. We were at 38 points, so that one cashed. And then Broncos held the Jaguars to 17 points. I don't know if that was a good pick or not, but
yeah, it's not better than most teams.
Yeah, another team I might look at is either the Panthers or Falcons. Just because that might be some turnovers, some low score. Tennessee, Houston might be a low-scoring game too, but
yeah,
Adam, I see you had the Broncos as well today, but
I thought the Broncos would be a good play. Again, those London games are pretty sketchy. You never know what's going to happen, but the Broncos the Broncos are one of those defenses that are pretty safe. I think every week they're never going to get just blown up for 40 points probably, but they may not give you the shutout either necessarily, but they're a pretty safe play. They have a good front line and they get quite a few sacks, so that usually helps a lot too, just keeping you safe from getting that 0, 1, 2 point game. But obviously, my number one team I mentioned is the Eagles pretty much every week right now versus Pickens in Pittsburgh. I think it's just a give-me play. And the Bills, I know, are considered the best defense in the league, but, man, versus Green Bay, I've actually seen places where people were dropping the Bills last week on bye weeks and stuff. It's just insane,
that's madness.
What?
Yeah,
the number one defense in the NFL.
Right. And I've just seen it happen, not in any leagues I'm in, but I've seen people show that to me, like, oh, well, I picked up the Bills defense. I'm like, how did you do that? But anyways, we know how bad Green Bay's offense is right now. That number one defense versus that terrible offense and the frustration Rodgers is going through, man, I could see it getting ugly today.
I'll tell you, Bills minus 10.5 is on my card today. Not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I like that more than the Bears. 10 points the Bear. I like that one more.
Yeah, I didn't, I mean, I don't want to put the Bears on my card, even though I think the Cowboys will probably cover 10. But I want to be able to enjoy the game, even if the Bears lose,
Right.
Yeah.
So
I had the Jaguars at the opposite side today, and that didn't really work out. But
Yeah, I had initially had Broncos +2 on my card. Just the Jaguars defense has been shit the past 3 weeks. That's why I like the Broncos' chances in this one.
yeah,
The Broncos do have a good defense.
yeah, then they held up today. I know the Titans defense is not good, but I think if there is a week, I think this is the week where they're worth a pickup and a play.
Coming off a bye, right?
They're coming off the bye. They have, Houston, who is very reckless with their handling of the ball in terms of turnovers. So I like the Titans today as a bye week fill-in.
Hey, speaking of the Titans, not to interrupt, I didn't mention this because it's a gimme, but Derrick Henry's going to beat everyone today. If you're going against Derrick Henry, you're screwed.
Yeah,
the worst team against the run in the NFL is the Texans. So
yeah, and Derrick Henry runs for 200 against them every time they play, pretty much. So it's going to be ugly.
Good. Yeah.
I'm happy I have him in Greg Braggs' league today, so I'm going to feel good about that. The Bengals today against the Cleveland Browns.
That pick. Yep. Monday night.
I think the Bengals are just going to destroy Cleveland today, and I think defensively they might have a score or two.
That game's Monday, Joe.
Or right, not tonight. I meant to say Monday, but
Monday
still,
night. Yep.
They're definitely worth a start. I think they're going to do really well.
Totally agree.
Yep.
Let's get into our sleeper starts of the week. Adam, let's lead things off with you.
All right. Mentioned Harrison Bryant earlier for Cincinnati, Cleveland versus Cincinnati in that game Monday night. Like I said, I think he's one of those bye week fill-in guys. If you didn't have somebody stashed on your bench, you can add and play.
I like it.
Be pretty solid choice there. Wan'Dale Robinson.
I had Njoku on my team in a couple leagues.
Right, exactly. That's why Bryant's such a good play with Njoku being out now. Njoku's been eating up targets, and he's like a top 5 tight end, if not top 3 right now. So the other one, Wan'Dale Robinson, we mentioned a couple times, just PPR machine. You expect a lot of catches today out of that. I think even without a touchdown, you're safe playing him.
Yeah.
I'm taking a shot on Justin Fields if I need a streaming quarterback, especially in deeper leagues. I think the Bears are going to, whether it works or not, they're going to try that same recipe they had against the Patriots and try to design more runs for him. And it was a formula that worked, so they have to try it again, I think. So, and they've got to beat this Dallas blitz somehow, and it's going to have to be in the running game. The other one, Antonio Gibson, sneakily kind of been creeping back up in touches the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's actually been getting more of the passing work than McKissick did last week and the week before, I believe. McKissick's been almost zero,
non-existent,
usage since Brian Robinson was activated.
I dropped him in a couple leagues, to be honest. McKissick was like,
right, exactly.
There's other players out there, you know.
Yeah, you can't use him right now, and there's too many needs, and with buys going on, he's easily droppable. So Gibson could be one of those sneaky plays that could get some dump offs, and why they've never used him in the passing game like they should have, makes no sense. But he's taken past the 70 and 80 yards in the few times he has before. So I think that could happen again today.
Love it.
Good choices, man. And I talked about this guy earlier, Andy Dalton, against the Raiders today. I really think he's worth a start. I think he could have a really good day at the office. I think he's going to go over 300 with at least 2 touchdown passes.
Yep.
So that's great for a sleeper. We talked about Dante Foreman against Atlanta. I think he's going to go to town and just run all over them. Jacoby Myers is a guy that a lot of people forget about. He's still a PPR machine. He couldn't really get anything going last week, but the Bears were all over Mac Jones. But Jacoby always does good against the Jets, and I feel like today is a big Jacoby Myers day. And you guys talked about Harrison. You talked about Harrison Bryant already. Going to be a big PPR machine, tight end target for the Browns. I'll take those guys all day in terms of sleepers.
All right. Yeah, I have Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
Out of the doghouse, back on the field with Corey Davis out. I like that little slot receiver to get some catches, PPR. Davis Mills is going to be in a negative game script. This kid could throw for 300 yards if you're looking for a streaming quarterback. Tennessee's not very good against the pass, to be honest. Noah Fant, I guess DK Metcalf is playing today. Yeah. So initially when I wrote this up, I thought maybe Metcalf might be out, and Fant is, another big body, fast tight end. And then Raheem Blackshear. going to fill that McCaffrey out of the backfield role. All-time leading NCAA football player for target share. So he's a pass catching machine, a little scat back. Watch out if this is probably more of a super sleeper, but Raheem Blackshear might be a guy that can get you 5 to 9 catches.
That's all good picks. I mean, for a sleeper, that's all you could ask for.
Yeah,
especially for grabbing guys off of the wire.
That's one of the names to mention to that first question we had earlier.
Yeah, he did have a question about Blackshear.
Or we had one. Somebody was looking for some streamer for a running back, and that's a good choice right there.
Yeah, and Travis, I think out of those guys, I think Blackshear is probably the guy.
Probably the best. I like Burkhead though too. He does some good work on third down, but on the goal line, that's Damian Pierce. And then
for sure,
Madison's more of a handcuff to me. I know he's been getting some play, but I mean, I only like him if Cook is out.
Yeah, exactly. And no, he's not. But getting on to sits, I'll lead things off here. I hate Matthew Stafford today against the 49ers. I'm not touching him with the 10-foot pole. A.J. Dillon against Buffalo. I think Packers are going to be having a real tough time today, and I don't think Dillon's going to get much of anything going today. Aaron Rodgers is very frustrated. I think you're going to see a lot of that. I have Terry on this list. I know you guys were talking about how Indy's defense hasn't been that good, but for me, Terry McLaurin is going to be – they're going to focus on shutting him down. It's going to be all the other guys that are going to thrive today. So I think Terry McLaurin's going to have a tough day, so I would bench him. And
had a pretty good game last week, though.
Yes, he did. I know it's a tough – I know it's kind of a shell shock.
But
name to have
he kind of is an every other game guy, though, Joe. To be honest,
I know.
What I'm saying? He'll show up for one game, then disappear the next. Like him
That's
and DJ Moore, they're kind of like the same player to me. It's like, but
yeah. So they're going to focus on shutting him down, and I think they'll be successful.
Won't he most likely see Stephon Gilmore in that game?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So see, that could be tough for him.
Yeah,
it's a tough matchup, and that's why Terry Terry is scary for me today to play.
Gilmore plays for the Colts now, right?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but
I think he does. I think Gilmore's that's probably who's going to be covering him. I think.
I mean, McLaurin's a tough matchup for any cornerback, really. But
yes, he is playing.
Gilmore,
he is the Colts' lead corner. That's correct.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yep, and then of course Kyle Pitts, who's been a dumpster fire all year. I know a lot of people think this is the week he's going to blow up against Carolina.
Yeah,
I can't trust him anymore. For me, I know you're not going to do it now. He's a borderline drop, but there's not really many better people out there. But he's definitely sitting on my bench. He scares me. Too bad he's if he was on any other team besides the Falcons, he would be a fantasy stud. But he's not, and he's stuck in the Falcons. So hopefully they trade him. I don't know. Adam, what do you got for sits, buddy?
Aaron Rodgers versus Buffalo. I'm scared to play really any Packers in that game today. The one you mentioned, A.J. Dillon, man, he's one of the biggest busts in all of fantasy this year, in my opinion. Him and Kyle Pitts both are two of just the guys I had a lot of hope for and have done nothing. A.J. Dillon's just getting decreased every week for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're becoming more successful, so I don't understand what they're doing there. But Rodgers hasn't done anything. I don't think he's hit 20 fantasy points this season yet, so there's no way I'm playing him against that Buffalo defense. And Robert Woods against Houston, he had a couple of hot weeks there around week 3, 4, 5, I think. And the last couple, he's been on the decline. And the Tennessee passing game is just not very good right now, so I don't think you can trust him very much, even against Houston. And the other one I had was Melvin Gordon this morning, forgetting that was the morning game. I think he fell in the end zone, like I said, but I know Latavius Murray did as well, and that was the reason I did not want to play Melvin Gordon, because you just don't know what's going on there between Gordon and Murray in that backfield. I'm kind of staying away from the Broncos backfield.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Tooch, what do you got for sits? I know you got Rodgers too.
Yeah. Yep. I don't like Aaron Rodgers today. Not going to lie.
Don't like him today, but definitely not today.
Tough matchup for Aaron. But and Montgomery at Dallas. He splits time for me. And I don't know. They got to run the ball for sure. But to me, it's a half. I'm kind of Montgomery's more of a bye week fill-in for me at this point. I love the kid. But Herbert is really, they're like 50-50. So Deontay Johnson at Philadelphia, don't like him with Pickett and against that Philly defense. He'll probably see Darius Slay, right?
Most likely, yeah.
Darren Waller at the Saints. He could leave the game any minute, been banged up.
He's
we'll
out.
see Fabian Moreau. He's out. There you go. So don't play him. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a chance he could play when I wrote this. So, but he is
it
inactive.
just came out. He's officially inactive, yes.
There you go. For Fabian Moreau, we were looking for a streaming tight end. Let's go. Pick him up.
I like that. Yeah, Fabian Moreau. That's a good streaming option.
Not a bad play.
Another one we didn't mention, thought about earlier, is Hayden Hurst, if he's available with, again, with Jamar Chase out and stuff in that game.
Great point. Yes.
He's been really good, and he could see an uptick in targets now.
Yeah, the Joe Burrow loves him.
Yeah.
But let's dive real quick before we get out of here. If there's more questions in the chat, let us know. We got a comment from our buddy Adeptus saying that he thinks McLaurin's going to eat, and he probably will, but he's got to go up against what were we just talking about?
Stephon Gilmore, yeah.
Yes, Gilmore. So that's a tough matchup. They're going to throw to him a lot. I just don't know how much success they're going to have. But let's talk through the inactives, guys. We were just talking about it. The Falcons game today, there's no Chuba Hubbard like we discussed. The Raiders game, we just talked about it. Darren Waller officially inactive for the Raiders. For the Saints, there's no Michael Thomas. There's no Jarvis Landry. Also worth noting, Marshawn Lattimore inactive for that game as well. So that could be good things for the Raiders.
Yeah. Devontae Adams is going to have a huge game.
Yeah. For the Jets game this afternoon, of course, we all know there's Bryce Hall's inactive. Joe Flacco's inactive now that we're going to start him. Corey Davis, though, that's a name that's out. So, you do with that what you will. Elijah Moore, like Tooch said, is going to play today, so that's going to be a good one.
Maybe some Michael Carter dump-offs.
Yeah, for sure. Dolphins and Lions, no one of really fantasy relevance is going to miss this game. Last year, you would say Myles Gaskin, but now he's not even fantasy relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Bears, no Zeke today for the Cowboys, so that's why we all think Tony Pollard's going to eat.
Wish I had him on my team today, I'll tell you.
Yeah, this is the day to get him for sure.
Yeah, this is why you draft him and hold him all season.
Yeah, and that Titans
finally gets his chance.
Mm-hmm. And that Titans-Texans game, there is no Ryan Tannehill for the Tennessee Titans, so that might be a good thing for the Titans. Change up their game a little bit, but we all know it's going to be the why am I drawing a blank here?
Derrick Henry.
Thank you. The Derrick Henry show.
I'm interested to see what Malik Willis does today with his legs and stuff there. He could end up being a viable fantasy streamer.
Yeah.
Interested to see how that goes.
That game's a stay away for me, as far as betting. I don't know what Malik Willis is all about. I don't trust the Texans against whatchamacallit, Derrick Henry. I don't trust the Texans against Henry. So,
yeah. And in the last 5 minutes, though, we're just going to take some questions and run it out, boys. But Cesar wants to know: do you start
Cooper
Kupp
Kupp
against
never
the Niners?
comes out of your lineup unless it's a bye.
Yeah, you can't bench Cooper Kupp. There's no world.
Never.
Nope.
The only time you don't play him is when he's on a bye.
I consider it then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when he's on a bye, he's better than a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, you could play Rashad Bateman or Cooper Kupp on a bye. Which one do you want to do?
Yeah, Cesar says he has Boyd, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Singletary. I'm assuming you still have Kupp in your lineup. And between those three, it's St. Brown.
Yeah, if you're just picking one, it's St. Brown.
Although Boyd is...
I would try to get Brown and Boyd in the lineup somehow.
Yeah, that's scary. Adeptus isn't scared of top shelf corners because McLaurin's had good games. I mean, I hope Terry has a great game. I really do. For me, he's my sit this week. I hope I'm wrong. And Jay wants to know, guys, Algier or Kareem Hunt?
I'd play Tyler Algier in this one.
Yeah, for me, I just kind of like flip a coin here, but I don't know, man. I haven't really kept track of how much Kareem Hunt is playing.
Well, I think
Not
he's
very
getting
much
traded.
lately. He's been
Not
getting,
very much, right?
Yeah, it's been getting tapered down every week, and
Yeah.
that's why I think the Algier's got more guaranteed touches right now.
Yep,
And
give me Algier. Yeah,
Kareem Hunt could get benched and not play because of a trade.
Yeah, I think Kareem Hunt's getting traded this week, so I think he's not going to do much of anything.
Good point.
I hope he gets traded. I traded for him in a couple of leagues, so and I'm trying to trade Adam for him.
Yeah, I'm scared to do that.
I offered him Devontae Smith for him, Tooch.
Oh, for
Hunt.
Yeah. Wow.
But because Hunt might get traded to a contender, Adam's just scared that he's going to erupt.
Yeah,
I could see him like someplace like the Rams or
right, exactly.
You know, maybe even
Buffalo or something. I mean,
Buffalo trading for him would be
which is why I'm trying to trade for him. But
Singletary is so underrated, though, man.
He really is.
He just produces.
They just don't use him enough as much as it. So they just pass so much. It doesn't even seem like it. It doesn't seem like he even gets as many as he does.
I don't. What's the Broncos' record now? Anybody know? Just after the victory today, I could see the Broncos trade for Kareem Hunt. You know,
Broncos are now 3-5.
Okay, so they're maybe done. Maybe Dallas trades for Kareem Hunt. That makes a lot of sense. With it, you still have Zeke. Zeke isn't really all that anymore. You still have Pollard, but imagine Kareem Hunt coming in. You got Pollard and Hunt. The Cowboys are 5-2.
Adeptus is saying Devontae Smith is also on a contender. I am aware. My fantasy team just has a lot of receivers, and I need a running back. And if I make this trade and Hunt goes to a big contender, then then I get another quality running back. So I'm willing to take that risk. I could easily get hosed and nothing could happen, and Kareem Hunt could stay on the Browns and suck the rest of the year, and then Adam would get Devontae Smith. Who's great, but you can make up your mind after today, Adam. It's fine because I kind of want him against his matchup today.
I need Devontae even more now because I lost Mike Williams.
Well, there you go. The Slim Reaper.
And in running backs, I have Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry, so I'm kind of rich in running backs.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for me. I'm just scared of what happens Tuesday. I want to do it. It's just scary.
Yeah, I'm scared too. I traded in Adam Ranks League too. Did you see this?
No.
I traded Gerald Everett for Kareem Hunt and Taysom Hill.
Damn, nice.
Yeah.
The guy offered it to me.
Damn, and Everett is on a bye too.
And I have Mark Andrews, so I don't need Everett.
Yeah.
And Everett has only been like so for like 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I think that dude offered me some trade too, and it was like a terrible trade for me. It was an okay trade for him. I don't remember who he wanted off my team, but
I don't know if he knows that Hunt is on the trade block or not, but I'll take that risk every day.
Yeah.
And then I got Taysom Hill as a backup.
Another sneaky one that I added last night because he was dropped a few places. Jeff Wilson Jr. I heard a lot of teams are calling about him in trade talks. He got dropped by a lot of people with the addition of CMC.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's asking Kareem Hunt to the Jets. Well, they just traded for James Robinson, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adeptus, they traded for James Robinson, who is going to be great for them this year, but he hasn't had much time on the playbook, so I don't expect him to do anything today. But I think going forward, James Robinson could be a nice play.
Kareem Hunt makes the most sense to me on Dallas. Maybe. I
think he's going to the Rams. I really do.
Yeah, Rams would be right up there too. It was a good
because you imagine Cam Akers. Cam Akers will probably be in that trade package. So
yeah, yep.
Who's inactive again today, by the way?
There's no way the Browns are trading Kareem Hunt to the Bengals. So yeah,
no.
Kareem Hunt to the Jets. I could see it, but they just traded for James Robinson.
You see him go back to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I could see him go back to the Chiefs. It's a great call, Joe. Forget about the Chiefs. They're using Isaiah Pacheco a lot. Another good pickup waiver wire, but I think Adam picked him up somewhere. Did you pick up Pacheco?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I got Pacheco, and I think it was in the Goon League, I think.
Yeah, I was like looking for him. Then I was like, someone just picked him up. I was freaking out.
I actually drafted him on the draft night, like my last pick.
Let him go and then picked him up again?
I cut him a couple weeks in and then picked him up.
No hard feelings. He's back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you're welcome. You're welcome. Come on.
Come on home.
Yeah. I'm sorry, baby.
All right, boys. We took you guys all the way up to kickoff.
Yeah, let's get some bear down here.
Let's get some victories. Let's get some fantasy wins. Yep. We answered a ton of questions. Thanks to everybody for hanging out in the chat with us all day. It has been a fun morning. Adeptus says it won't happen, but I'd love Kareem Hunt in a Ravens uniform. Yeah, that could see that. That'd be. Yeah. I wouldn't say it won't happen. You put Gus Edwards, or you even put like, throw in. I don't know. They got guys they could toss in there. I could see that. I hope so. So, Adam, just make me that trade already, okay? Anyway, it's been a ton of fun. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Let's go win some fantasy matchups. Adam and Tooch, thank you guys, as always, for hanging out, talking fantasy. It's always fun, and hopefully we can help some people win some games today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Joe. It's been a great time this morning.
All right, boys. Well, as always,
right on.
God bless football. God bless America. And let's go kick some ass. Bear down. And hopefully we're talking about some fantasy victories.
Don't forget, Joe, next Saturday at Kings and Rosemont, barroom personalities. Mike North, Aldo Gandia, yours truly, maybe Joe Mandel.
I will not be there. I'm gonna.
What?
I was trying to pull some strings. I just moved to Michigan.
I know. It's a little bit of drive. I'm driving from Des Moines.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Man.
Yeah.
We'll see what I could do.
Maybe we'll see Foster Covers there, and Adeptus. Maybe some of those guys coming by to hang out, and drink some beers, watch some college football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vinny Parisi will be there. Ryan Kirkland Billings. I think Danny Shimon will be there. Trying to think who else is going to be there. Neil Stopchinski. Yeah, November 5th. Foster.
Yep, it's a week from yesterday.
Saturday the 5th.
Yep. So everyone who can go hang out with some of the barroom personalities. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm trying to swing some things, but it's a little
Would love to see it too. Tell Foster he's got to wear the hat so I can recognize him.
Yeah, Foster, wear the hat.
Foster, wear the derby rider.
Yeah, for sure.
Wear the cap. Adam's going to drive in from Oklahoma.
I wish.
I know.
Yeah, it's about 10-hour drive.
Yeah, for me it's about 5.5, 6. So.
6, yeah. I wish I could.
Foster says he's going. So.
All right, Foster, don't forget the hat so I can recognize you in the crowd.
Adeptus is also in Michigan. So am I, buddy.
Swing by and pick up Joe Adeptus on your way down.
fellow Michiganders. I got a fruit fly flying around my desk.
Damn it. I got a few of them here too, Joe. We ain't alone.
Game on later, dudes. All right, boys. All right. Well, like I said, it's been fun. Make sure you tune in to Bear Football at halftime of the Bears game and post for all the Bears content you need. And then Dan and Aldo and all that great stuff coming up next week. But for Fantasy Football Goon, I'm Joe Mandel, the Goon. The guy below me is Adam Schaum, the man with the plan. And the top left, you've got John Santucci, the Tooch. Thanks for hanging out for us tonight. Let's go win some games, and we'll see you guys next week. Go Bears.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.